back to my channel. My name is Tania, and if you're stopping by for the first time, then welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. Yeah, I don't often say all that, but anyway, if you're stopping by for the first time, then welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you're not stopping by for the first time, then thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Anyway, today's video is bag story number 2. So a little while ago, I uploaded a video about how I came to have this particular bag here, which is my Salvatore Ferragamo Vara bag, Vara camera bag. And it's a series that I've started. The second bag I'd like to talk to you about is this particular one here. And this is my Coach Sully bag. If I have the name wrong, I will write it here up above. I can never remember the name of this bag, so sorry. But I can never forget the story behind this bag and how I came to have this bag. So, have you got yourselves a cuppa? Have you got yourselves a snack? Get yourself a little Milo or something, because this bag's got a story. Okay, many of you would know I'm a teacher, and I currently work in a boys' school. 2018 was my first year working in my current workplace, and of course I can't tell you anything about that for privacy purposes. However, the reason I can tell you the story and how I came to have this bag and how it's related to work is because the people that are associated with this bag are no longer at that school. So 3 years ago I had a Year 12 English class, and there's something about teaching a senior class. You start to talk to the students, or you start to have always a very professional relationship, don't get me wrong, but you start to relate differently. You know, students start to see their Year 12 senior teachers differently. They start to see us more as people and not just as, you know, disciplinarians. So anyway, my point is, it was my first year in a new school. I was juggling a lot, major difficulties in my home life, and also trying to keep my hobby going, which was my YouTube channel. Now, I'm currently Bits and Bags. I was up until 2018, up until about mid-year 2018, I was known as Luxtopia. Still love that name. I swear to God, I still love that name. Anyway, I had started Luxtopia years ago, before I had arrived at this particular school. Anyway, without going into it, I needed to shut down that particular channel. As it turns out, in your general talking with your students and all that sort of thing, I started letting on and saying that I love luxury items, and I have a few luxury bags, and you know, I have a Gucci belt, and I used to wear that to work a few times, and they all used to hang you know what on me about it. You know, they used to say, "Miss, that's fake, that's fake." "Oh, honey, no, that ain't fake." But anyway, you know, so they came to learn that obviously I have a love for these particular items. So as we neared the end of the year, one particular student, and I have permission to use their names, Lukey, he approached me at the end of one lesson, and he said, "Oh, Miss, can I ask your advice?" I said, "Sure, Lukey." And he said, "You know, it's my auntie's birthday on the weekend, or, you know, coming up, something like that, right?" And he said, "And I just was wondering if I could get some advice on what to buy her." I said, "Sure, okay, no worries." And I said, "What are you thinking of getting her?" And he said, "Oh, we're thinking of getting her a bag." I said, "Oh, okay, well, move over, make room. I'm all over it." Okay. So I said, "What's your budget? What are you thinking of? What's her style? What colors does she like? How is she going to wear it? How does she use her bags? What's her dress sense like? You know, what is she like as a person, her personality, all these things, because all these things are very important." Okay. And he said, I think I bombarded him. And he said, oh, well, she's a lot like you, Miss. She's very stylish, and she likes fashion, and she likes her bags." And I said, "Oh, she sounds awesome." Anyway, and I said, "All right, fair enough." I said, "What's your budget?" And he said, "Oh, you know," and he sort of nominated a number. I said, "Okay, that's easy. We can work with that." I said, "Have you seen something already?" And he said, "Yeah, we were thinking of maybe this Guess bag." And I looked at it and I said, "You know, it's a very nice gesture, but you know." And he said, oh, really, miss? I said, you know, okay, this is what you do, Lukey, okay? And a couple of his mates were sitting beside him, and they're just like sniggering and laughing and that sort of thing. They're just like hanging around. Anyway, so some of you probably already worked out where this is going. So it was like lunchtime by this stage, and I showed him, I said, this is what you do. You go to all these particular websites. I showed him, you know, Louisa Viaroma, Farfetch, what else? You know them all the main ones, right? And I said, and first thing you do is you go to the sales section, because then based on your budget, you could pick up something that's worth more on sale, and you get it for top price, and it looks good. It looks better. Oh, I even started showing him some beautiful LV bandeaus, some Gucci ones. We didn't go to the Chanel website because obviously that was far too expensive, you know, poor kids. Anyway, and so he was taking photos of a lot of these suggestions. And then, you know, I was looking at some Coach ones. I said, Coach is lovely. And he goes, oh, is that a nice one, miss? I said, yeah, that's a nice bag. That's nice for someone who's turning 50. Because I forgot to mention that he told me his auntie was turning 50. Thanks, Luke. Anyway, and I said, yeah, that's nice for someone that age. I think that's a lovely bag. Coach is really well respected and loved by many people, and they have excellent quality leather. And he said, oh, do you like that? I said, yeah, that's quite nice. He said, do you have anything like that? I said, no, I don't. I clearly, and I think I'm quite smart, but I clearly was stupid. I should have stuck to the Gucci side. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so he was taking all these photos, and we were looking at all these things on his laptop. I said, you know, Lukey, that you're going to get all these cookies coming up now. You know, every time you go to a different website, you're going to get all the ads down the side with Coach and handbags and, you know, bandeaus and scarves and stuff like that. And SLGs and all that sort of business. He goes, oh, that's all right, miss, don't worry. I said, okay. So anyway, we did that for, I don't know, about half an hour or so. Okay, that's it. No problems. Went off to lunch, parted ways, all good. Then we got to the end of the year, and we had our last lesson, and I had always joked throughout the year about how hard I had worked for these boys. You know, I was up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was my first year of teaching Year 12 for a long time. I hadn't taught it for a long time because I had little kids. So, you know, I really wanted to prove myself, and I think I did. And so I gave my heart and soul to those kids. Like, actually, every group of Year 12s that I have, I give them my heart and soul, and when they leave, they take a bit of me with them. You know, it sounds like a lyric from a song, but it's true. And so we had the last, and so throughout the year, I always used to joke, mate, you know, I've done so much for you boys. You don't realize how much I do for you. And I better get a box of chocolates and a bottle of champagne at the end of the year. So you need to remember that. End of year comes, we have our last lesson. They have their last final day, writing all over each other's shirt, Some boys came up to me, miss, sign my shirt. Miss, sign it as Luxtopia. I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So you need to remember the Luxtopia reference. Okay. So clearly some boys had found me, and it caused a bit of a stir. But then I decided to shut it down. So they had their last lesson, and then they went off, and they had like about a week off SWAT vac. And then Luke sent an email one day, and he said, miss, few of us want to come in tomorrow. It would have been a lesson time that I would have had with them. What room will you be in? We'll be in the normal room, Lukey. Okay, see you then. I said, sure. What do you want to work on? Oh, we want to work on this essay topic. I said, okay. So I go to class the next day, you know, and I'm writing the essay prompt on the board. And then the boys start to come in, this particular group of 7 boys. And and they walk in and they sit down. I said, all right, where's Luke? Oh, he's a bit late, miss, he's coming. I said, all right, no problems. So I start unpacking this prompt on the board and, you know, start breaking down this essay. And then there's a knock on the door. I go to open the door, and Lukey comes in, and he's carrying with him a large box. So remember that reference that I mentioned earlier about the chocolates? Well, he walked in carrying this large box, and it was just the packing box, right? And I said, that's a lot of chocolate, Lukey. He said, and he just laughed. He goes, it's not chocolate, miss. And that's when I jerried. That's when I jerried, and it all just fell into place. I said, oh no, no way. Anyway, they were all grinning. They were grinning because they had totally hoodwinked me. So I start opening. Now, one boy couldn't come, he had to go to work, so they're recording me. I'm starting to open this box, and inside I see, or I think it was just on the outside, I can't remember now, he had printed out one of my thumbnails from one of my videos when I was Luxtopia, and he had wrapped it around the box as wrapping paper. Now, this particular student used to joke throughout the year that I needed to get merch. And I said, no, I'm not going to get merch. Like, who's going to buy merch from me, right? So anyway, I thought, oh my God, he actually made merch. I said, well, that's a waste of, to myself in my head, I thought, that's a waste of money because Luxtopia doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, I'm opening up, and then I see the Farfetch box. And then it was like, oh, shit. So I lift up the lid, and inside, wrapped in plastic, was the Coach dust bag. And of course, in the Coach dust bag, there was this beauty. And I looked at him, I cried. I swore and I cried. I said, oh my God, you totally fooled me. Now, this story still astounds me because we're talking a group of 18-year-old boys actually went out of their way to all pitch in to buy few $100 bag for their English teacher as a thank you gift at the end of the year. Can we just stop and think about that? Because I have received many, many gifts over the years from many, many students that I have taught. I don't even know how many students I've taught, but never have I received anything like this. I was blown away. This trumps almost everything. There was this gift and one other that I received last year, which are unforgettable to me. Unbelievable. I just stood there and I'm not often speechless, but I was speechless and I was crying and I said, oh my God, boys, what did you do? How? When? How? And then I was like, oh my God, you said you were buying this for your auntie. You lied to me, Lukey. And he's just grinning, you know, like a Cheshire cat. Yeah, good old Lukey, huh? And then the other boys were just in the background, sort of laughing and, you know, and they were all involved. And so, of course, I hugged them all. And every time I use this bag, every time I touch this bag, every time I look at this bag, I think of that group of boys. Like, seriously? Who does that? I was floored. I'm remembering the emotions I felt even now, and I can picture the room we're in, and I can picture their reaction to my reaction. Holy smokes, Batman. A group of 7 18-year-old boys bought me a bag. And the effort that he went to concoct this story that he was buying it for his auntie who was fashionable like me and, you know, and it's sort of youngish. He said that, oh, she's sort of young like you, miss. I remember that bit. Oh my God. And I believed him. So, I feel like this story, the way I've told this story is somewhat disjointed. I hope not. But I hope you found this interesting. I hope you liked the story to this particular bag and how I came to have it. This will never leave my collection. Never. I adore this bag. So he had it delivered to his house. Everything. Printed out the wrapping paper of me as Luxtopia. That's elite. Yeah. That's elite. I mean, I've had beautiful gifts from beautiful people and people have gone to a lot of effort, but damn, this takes the cake. So let me know what you think of this story, guys. This is my bag history of this particular bag. Let me know what you think of that story. And and I look forward to reading your comments. So take care, everybody. God bless. Thank you, Luke, Anthony, Gallo, Marky, Daniel, Noah, Tono. Did I get them all? And Dino. Thank you very much for this awesome gift.